from stand-up to statesmanship, the early gigs of Volodymyr Zelensky, comedian, actor, and now president of Ukraine. It's like finding out your improv troupe buddy is now running a Fortune 500 company. Except, in this case, the company is a country grappling with an existential threat. Born in Kryvyi Rih, a Ukrainian city known more for its industrial landscape than its laugh-a-minute culture, Zelensky was a natural-born performer. He was drawn to the stage, honing his comedic timing, and developing a knack for physical comedy that would later serve him well in the world of politics. He rose to fame through Kvartal 95, a production company he co-founded that churned out sketch comedy shows and films. Think of it as Ukraine's answer to Saturday Night Live, only with more borscht and fewer celebrity cameos. One of his most notable roles, and perhaps an eerie foreshadowing of things to come, was in the TV series Servant of the People. Zelensky played a high school history teacher who, through a bizarre turn of events, becomes the president of Ukraine. Trading punchlines for policy, the unexpected pivot. In 2019, Zelensky did the unthinkable. He announced his candidacy for the Ukrainian presidency. The world collectively chuckled, assuming it was an elaborate publicity stunt for his show. But Zelensky was dead serious. He campaigned on a platform of change, promising to tackle corruption, modernize the economy, and bring peace to the war-torn eastern regions of the country. His message resonated with voters who were disillusioned with the political establishment and hungry for a fresh face. Whatever your stance, one thing was clear. Zelensky had tapped into a deep well of public sentiment, a yearning for something different, something presidential. A landslide victory or a shady script? The 2019 election. The 2019 Ukrainian presidential election was nothing short of historic. Volodymyr Zelensky, the comedian who once played a fictional president on TV, secured a resounding victory, garnering over 73% of the vote. It was a political earthquake, shaking the Ukrainian establishment to its core and sending shockwaves throughout the international community. Allegations of irregularities and voter manipulation surfaced, casting a shadow over Zelensky's victory. Whispers of external influence, particularly from Western powers eager to install a pro-Western leader in Ukraine, began to circulate. Zelensky's supporters dismissed these claims as baseless conspiracy theories, sour grapes from a defeated and discredited old guard. The truth, as is often the case, likely lies somewhere in the murky middle ground between these two narratives. Strings attached? The West's investment in Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 thrust Zelensky into the global spotlight, transforming him from a political novice into a wartime leader practically overnight. The West, eager to counter Russian aggression and bolster Ukraine's defenses, opened its coffers, pouring billions of dollars in military and financial aid into the embattled nation. This unprecedented level of support, while crucial for Ukraine's survival, has fueled speculation and suspicion. Is Zelensky a puppet dancing to the tune of his Western benefactors? Are his actions dictated by the strings of financial aid, his policies shaped by the interests of those holding the purse strings? But to reduce Zelensky to a mere puppet is to ignore the complexities of the situation, the agency of the Ukrainian people, and the very real threat they face. Section 5. The Puppeteer and the Puppet, a narrative explored. The image of Zelensky as a puppet manipulated by Western powers is a seductive one. It offers a simple explanation for a complex conflict, a clear villain and a hapless victim. But like most things in geopolitics, the reality is far more nuanced. To accept this narrative wholesale is to diminish the agency of the Ukrainian people, who have repeatedly demonstrated their desire for self-determination and their willingness to fight for it. It overlooks the long and bloody history between Ukraine and Russia, a history marked by oppression, annexation, and a struggle for cultural and political independence. Does Zelensky seek support and guidance from his allies? Of course, he would be foolish not to. But to conflate influence with control, to paint Zelensky as a mere figurehead devoid of his own convictions and motivations, is not only inaccurate, but also dangerous. Section 6. Zelensky's tightrope walk. Balancing act between East and West. Imagine yourself walking a tightrope. Below you, a chasm of geopolitical tension. On one side, the West, beckoning with promises of democracy, financial aid, and military support. On the other side, Russia, looming large with its historical baggage, territorial ambitions, and a penchant for using military force. That's the precarious balancing act Zelensky has been navigating since assuming office. Aligned too closely with the West, and he risks further antagonizing Russia, potentially provoking a more aggressive response. But distance himself too much from his Western partners, and he risks losing vital support, leaving Ukraine vulnerable to Russian pressure. Section 7. The price of freedom, comedic relief, or tragic irony. From comedy clubs to the global stage, Zelensky's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. But beneath the veneer of political satire and international diplomacy lies a tragic irony. The man who once made a nation laugh now leads a nation at war, his comedic timing replaced by the grim realities of conflict and loss. The streets where he once filmed sketches are now scarred by shelling. The theaters where his productions once entertained audiences now serve as bomb shelters. The world watches, captivated by the unlikely hero who has emerged from the ashes of war. But amidst the admiration and outpouring of support, it's crucial to remember the human cost of this conflict. Section 8. The unwritten script. What lies ahead for Zelensky? So, what does the future hold for Volodymyr Zelensky, the comedian who became a wartime president? Will he be remembered as the man who stared down a dictator, the courageous leader who rallied his people and inspired the world? Or will his legacy be forever tainted by the whispers of manipulation, his image tarnished by the accusations of being a puppet of the West? Only time will tell how this story unfolds. The script is still being written, the final act yet to be played. But one thing is certain, Zelensky's journey, from stand-up stages to the global stage, is a testament to the unpredictable nature of history. A stark reminder that truth is often stranger and far more complex than fiction. And as for those early comedy sketches, those moments of lighthearted humor, perhaps, in retrospect, they weren't just entertainment. Perhaps they were a form of preparation, a rehearsal for a role he never auditioned for but was destined to play.